Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, and in today's video we will be going over the first half of part 8 of the master key system. And as always, guys, in these videos I will be going over 5 questions, 5 to 6, 7 questions per video, and then towards the end we'll be going over the answer. So stay tuned for the end. And once again, this is the master key system by Charles F. Hannell. So let's go ahead and get right into it, guys. Alright, so introduction to part 8. In this part, you will find that you may freely choose what you think, but the result of your thought is governed by an immutable law. Is not this a wonderful thought? Is it not wonderful to know that our lives are not subject to caprice or variability of any kind, that they are governed by law? This stability is our opportunity, because by complying with the law, we can secure the desired effect with invariable precision. It is the law which makes the universe one grand paean of harmony. If it were not for law, the universe would be a chaos instead of a cosmos. Here, then, is the secret of the origin of both good and evil. This is all the good and evil there ever was or ever will be. Let me illustrate. Thought results in action. If your thought is constructive and harmonious, the result will be good. If your thought is destructive or inharmonious, the result will be evil. There is therefore but one law, one principle, one cause, one source of power, and good and evil are simply words which have been coined to indicate the result of our action, or our compliance or non-compliance with this law. The importance of this is well illustrated in the lives of Emerson and Carlyle. Emerson loved the good, and his life was a symphony of peace and harmony. Carlyle hated the bad, and his life was a record of perpetual discord and inharmony. Here we have two grand men, each intent upon achieving the same ideal, but one makes use of the constructive thought and is therefore in harmony with natural law. The other makes use of destructive thought and therefore brings upon himself discord of every kind and character. It is evident, therefore, that we are to hate nothing, not even the bad, because hatred is destructive, and we shall soon find that by entertaining destructive thought, we are sowing the wind, and in turn shall reap the whirlwind. Alright, guys, so getting into part 8. Part 8. Thought contains a vital principle, because it is the creative principle of the universe, and by its nature will combine with other similar thoughts. As the one purpose of life is growth, all principles underlying existence must contribute to give it effect. Thought, therefore, takes form, and the law of growth eventually brings it into manifestation. You may freely choose what you think, but the result of your thought is governed by an immutable law. Any line of thought persisted in cannot fail to produce its result. In the character, health, and circumstances of the individual. Methods whereby we can substitute habits of constructive thinking for those which we have found produce only undesirable effects are therefore of primary importance. We all know that this is by no means easy. Mental habits are difficult to control, but it can be done, and the way to do it is to begin at once to substitute constructive thought for destructive thought. Form the habit of analyzing every thought. If it is necessary, if its manifestation in the objective will be a benefit not only to yourself but to all whom it may affect in any way, keep it, treasure it. It is of value. It is in tune with the infinite. It will grow and develop and produce fruit and hundredfold. On the other hand, it will be well for you to keep this quotation from George Matthew Adams in mind. Learn to keep the door shut. Keep out of your mind, out of your office, and out of your world every element that seeks admittance with no definite helpful end in view. If your thought has been critical or destructive and has resulted in any condition of discord or inharmony in your environment, it may be necessary for you to cultivate a mental attitude which will be conducive to constructive thought. The imagination will be found to be a great assistance in this direction. The cultivation of the imagination leads to the development of the ideal out of which your future will emerge. The imagination gathers up the material by which the mind weaves the fabric in which your future is to be clothed. Imagination is the light by which we can penetrate new worlds of thought and experience. Imagination is the mighty instrument by which every discoverer, every inventor opened the way from precedent to experience. Precedent said, it cannot be done. Experience said, it is done. Imagination is a plastic power molding the things of sense into new forms and ideals. Imagination is the constructive form of thought which must precede every constructive form of action. A builder cannot build a structure of any kind until he has first received the plans from the architect, and the architect must get them from his imagination. The captain of industry cannot build a giant corporation which may coordinate hundreds of smaller corporations and thousands of employees and utilize millions of dollars of capital until he has first created the entire work in his imagination. Objects in the material world are as clay in the potter's hand. It is in the master mind that the real things are created, and it is by the use of the imagination that the work is done. In order to cultivate the imagination, it must be exercised. Exercise is necessary to cultivate mental muscle as well as physical muscle. It must be supplied with nourishment or it cannot grow. Do not confuse imagination with fancy, or that form of daydreaming in which some people like to indulge. Daydreaming is a form of mental dissipation, which may lead to mental disaster. Constructive imagination means mental labor by some considered to be the hardest kind of labor, but if so, it yields the greatest returns. For all the great things in life have come to men and women who had the capacity to think, to imagine, and to make their dreams come true. All right, guys, so that was the first half of part 8, and we'll go over the questions and answers. So, what is the imagination? What is the result of imagination? How may it be cultivated? How does imagination differ from daydreaming? And what are mistakes? All right, so here are the answers, guys. Let's go over them real quick. What is the imagination? The imagination is a form of constructive thought, the light by which we penetrate new worlds of thought and experience, the mighty instrument by which every inventor or discoverer opened the way from precedent to experience. Number 2, what is the result of imagination? The result of imagination is the cultivation of the imagination leads to the development of the ideal out of which your future will emerge. Number 3, how may it be cultivated? By exercise. It must be supplied with nourishment or it cannot live. So exercise can include visualization, affirmations, things like that, meditating, just cultivating the imagination and, getting what you want out of it. How does the imagination differ from daydreaming? Daydreaming is a form of mental dissipation, while imagination is a form of constructive thought, which must precede every constructive action. And what are mistakes? Mistakes are the result of ignorance. Ignorance can be like of not knowing these laws, these natural laws, the laws of attraction, the laws of mind, things of that nature. All right, guys, that is the end of the video. I want to thank you guys for watching, and go ahead and smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. Help us with our current goal of 1,000 subscribers. And if you have any questions, you can always email me directly at info@tycoontalk.xyz or leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know any topics you would like me to go over or go more in depth about in the comment section below as well. And all of my links to my online store, ebooks, courses, on all the other topics I talk about on this channel are also in the description box below. And if you like this video, go ahead and check out the other videos I make on my channel where I talk about how to make money with cryptocurrency, real cryptocurrency, how to fix your credit, the financial markets, and a whole bunch of other information that you can't necessarily Google and find easily. So go ahead and head on over to my channel, and I have it all perfectly laid out in 3 different playlists, so you can go ahead and check those out. And as always, my friends, I want to thank you once again for watching, and may infinite abundance flow to you now and forever. I will see you again tomorrow. Peace.